It's been a long time in the making, over 30 years that the city has been working in various capacities to turn this into what you'll see this summer. Gainesville Regional Utilities was the first to kind of start with the remediation of the site, and Public Works was a great partner as well. The stormwater ponds were built by the Public Works Department, and it's a beautiful feature of the park.
It's taking water from downtown and from just east of downtown off the roadways, gets it into the storm system, brings it here to the park site, capturing some sediment and some of the floating debris before it enters the pond, where the pond will do a lot more of the work and as far as filtering it even more before the water continues back into the creek system and on to Payne's Prairie down south.
So we're about halfway done with construction, and one of the most exciting things has been talking to the public and getting the public excited about Depot Park's grand opening, which is about to happen in summer 2016. The playground is obviously the first thing to go in. The train set was the first piece to be constructed. The second thing to go in was the sand pit. That also has fossils kids can discover while they're playing in the sand, and diggers that kids can sit on or manually dig. There's also an outdoor learning classroom with seating. We envision local schools coming out and using the space to teach kids about Depot Park and about Gainesville. We also have a couple of custom pieces in the park, including the oak tree climber, where we went around Gainesville and collected samples of oak tree bark. We sent them up to the playground manufacturer in Minnesota, and they mimic the color and the texture of the oak tree. We also have a smokestack climber that is an exact replica of the smokestack that once stood in the power district just north of Depot Park. There are several educational components woven into the fabric of this playground. The splash pad itself is an educational component, so we can educate kids about the Sweetwater Branch Creek. It's about a 12-foot tall rock sculpture with water jets and arches so kids can run through the arches. It has water guns, waterfalls with seats behind the waterfalls. So on the west side of the park users are going to get to experience the Pedestrian Bridge that was recently installed. It's about 12 feet wide, and it ties into the existing rail trail network at Depot Park.
So we're super excited about the Khaid Museum for Creativity and Invention. It'll be located on the southwest corner of the Depot Park site. And I think to the average person, you won't be able to tell where the museum property starts and where the park begins. It was made to be really cohesive and for you to be able to have a great experience at the museum and then meander into the park.
Another park element you can see installed today is the 20-foot wide promenade. The promenade itself will be programmed for activities such as food truck rallies, art festivals, all sorts of city events. So if people have driven by Depot Park, they may have noticed the Northeast Gateway that's already been erected at the roundabout at Depot Avenue and Southeast 4th Street. It is meant to look like an old abandoned rail line that ramps up a retaining wall and wraps around over your head as you enter the park. There's a second gateway being installed at Depot Park on the northwest corner of the site. This will include a 12 by 9 foot Depot Park sculpture. This will announce to people that they've entered Depot Park, and people will see it from the street as they're driving through the Depot Avenue South Main Street roundabout.
So the CRA led the historic rehabilitation of the Depot building. We believe this building will be really the heart of Depot Park.
I think the most exciting part of all this is watching the faces of the parents and the children that visit the site, watching their faces light up when they really start to get it, when they really start to see this special park that they're about to get to play in.